Ay caramba, mamma mia. Ay, who would have thought? Who would have thought? Who would have thought Peter Boszkar, the Feyenoord under-19 manager, getting promoted as the interim manager, and he came with a tactical masterclass to absolutely dismantle Sérgio Conceição. That's not the case. That's not the case. I feel like Milan lost this game because of themselves. Milan shot themselves in the foot. Milan lost that game not because Feyenoord were amazing. Not because tactically they outschooled Conceição. No, they lost the game because of themselves. Yeah, let's just get into it. Joao Felix, 16. I'm not going to tell you guys what I'm reading, but just listen to the numbers. Joao Felix, 16. Rafa Leao, 18. Christian Pulisic, 10. Fofana, 12. Theo Hernandez, 15. Kyle Walker, 18. Gimenez, 10. And Pavlovic, 16. Those are some crazy numbers. And you know what those numbers stand for? The amount of times these players lost the ball. The amount of times these players lost the ball. And I'll be honest with you guys, listen. The majority of them are attacking players. And as an attacking player, you're going to lose the ball. Why? Because you occupy an area of the field where you're required to take risks. You're a player that has the responsibility to try and unlock the opposition defense. And sometimes it goes right, sometimes it goes wrong. But I've just sat down and watched that game. And at times, when I was seeing Rafa Leao lose the ball, I wasn't telling myself, you were trying something. No, it's just losing the ball from the passes, being underhit. Losing the ball from making the wrong decision on the ball. Losing the ball because you feel like you can take on 2-3 extra players when sometimes it's best to put your foot on the ball and just pass it back to your teammate. And those numbers are wild. And there's a reason why there was even a period in that game where it felt like a ping pong match. The ball just kept going left, right, left, right, left, right. There was no control whatsoever. If you can't control the ball, you can't control the game. You can't. Listen, the fact that the majority of those players, by the way, I listed 8 players. Milan have 11 players out there. Excluding the goalkeeper, that's 10 outfield players. 8 lost the ball over 10 times. There's only 2. There were only 2 players that respectively helped the team retain the ball. If 8 of your outfield players are just giving the ball away so carelessly, you will never ever be able to sustain pressure. In the modern game, you need to be able to sustain pressure. Milan couldn't sustain pressure. And when they did at times, they finished it off by making the wrong decision. Let's just look at these photos. The first one, and this one literally happens 30 seconds. 30 seconds before Feyenoord's goal. I was watching it and I was like, Milan get themselves a nice little opportunity. Christian Pulisic picks up the ball and he carries. And I'm thinking, he feeds it into Reinders. And I'm thinking, you've got Gimenez open on the left of you. You've got Rafa Leao open to the left as well. All you have to do is as soon as you get the ball, pass it on. Because you can see the final defender has now committed to Reinders. The way he's positioned his body, the fact that he's running towards him, he slides them in. 1v1. Poor decision making. The second one. Rafa Leao. It's a counter-attack. Rafa Leao goes in, down the outside, running. And I'm thinking, just take a little glance to the left and you can see Gimenez is joining you in this attack. Just put the ball in his path. And he will run onto it with either an open net or 1v1 with the goalkeeper with all the time and all the space. It was literally a 2v1 situation. And what disappointed me is, I'm not saying Rafa Leao should have made the pass. Rafa Leao was in a position where you've only got 2 decisions to make. Option number 1, put your foot through that ball because he got practically into Feyenoord's box. It's just you and the goalkeeper. Put your foot through the ball. Have a shot on goal. Capitalize on the opportunity. If you don't feel too confident shooting, pass it to your teammate. The thing that frustrated me was the fact that I knew exactly what Rafa Leao was trying to do. He was trying to chop inside. And you know why? Do you know why it's frustrating? Because sometimes I watch Milan, especially in this game, and it felt like they were trying to be a bit too cute. They were trying to score that beautiful, fancy goal where they want the defenders to come sliding in. And, bro, other day, Rafa Leao chops inside, the defender goes sliding out of play, and then he squares it to Gimenez, and it's one of the most beautiful FIFA Street goals you will ever see. But today, that didn't happen. That wasn't the case, and it was an opportunity squandered. I was just like, either put your foot through the ball or pass it to your teammate. Chopping inside, it's not necessary. It's not necessary when the game is, well, at the time they were losing 1-0. When you're winning 5-0, be fancy. But when your team is losing and it's knockout football, make the right decision. What's next? Theo Hernandez. I feel like he was very poor today. But once again, these are all examples from the first half. Milan were 1-0 down, but they could have, if they made the right decision, they could have scored 3-4 goals. This one, for me, I just couldn't believe it. Theo Hernandez picks up the ball in his own half. He carries. Like, look at all the bodies around him. Look at all the options. Fair enough. He tries to feed it into Christian Pulisic. The pass was completely overhit. But I was just sat and I was like, if you could see Christian Pulisic is making the run inwards, and he's dragging the midfielder with him. And now the defenders, they're all keeping an eye on Christian Pulisic. Look on the far right side. Why don't you use the Christian Pulisic one across goal to pass the ball in the other direction to Gimenez, the striker that Milan paid good money for? Why? Because he knows how to put the ball into the back of the net. Gimenez has already shown in his Milan career, get me the ball in dangerous areas and I will put my foot through the ball. I don't do this dilly-dallying and extra touches. I will have my strikes on goal because that's what I do best. I was like, okay, cool. The pass overhit. But on another day, why not go for the safer option? Why pass the ball into the congested area where you now need to get it to perfection or else the goalkeeper claims the ball? Why not use the run to your advantage and feed your teammate down the right-hand side? And then the icing on the cake. This one was literally the icing on the cake. Dying minutes, Milan getting down the outside, Theo Hernandez, and I was just like, there's 3 Milan players in the box. There's 3 Milan players in the box. You need to get it to them. You either need to get it to the player at the front post, you need to get it to the player at the back post, or the player in the central area. The fact that he didn't get any of them, but he got the final defender. The cross literally went to the final defender. The defender didn't have to move or stretch his foot out. No. It was just poor accuracy. It was poor weight. It was poor direction. And I was just sat watching that game and I was like, this is a game that Milan could have scored 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 goals because they got the ball into dangerous areas. This was the lineup that everybody wanted to see. Joao Felix, Rafa Leao, Pulisic, Gimenez. We've seen what they can do off the bench. Now they were put together in the starting 11. And there was firepower. But where it was performing, I feel like all 4 of them didn't live up to it. And sometimes one player doesn't live up to it because of others. I looked at Gimenez and I was like, there were opportunities where these Milan players could have got him the ball. He's your striker. Feed your striker. Because he was signed to put the ball into the back of the net. He wasn't being fed. If you're not going to feed your striker, you better make sure you make the right decision. And if I had to summarize this game for you guys, Gimenez wasn't fed and the wrong decisions were made from minute 1 to minute 90. Because you can't be getting into those dangerous areas that Milan got into throughout the entire game and not create one solid opportunity. They didn't create a thing because the Rafa Leao opportunity, there was no shot on goal. The Theo Hernandez one, no shot on goal. The Reinders one, it was a shot from outside the box. They didn't create any big opportunities. They didn't create any clear-cut opportunities, even though they got into areas where all it takes is the right pass and you're 1v1 with the keeper. Now, if you're new, make sure to subscribe. Make sure to hit the like button. Make sure to let me know what you think in the comments. And I'll catch you guys on another one.